As the attorney for the Old Bridge Planning Board for the reorganization meeting, January 23rd, I call the meeting to order. Can we please stand for the salute to the flag?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, I believe we have, I still have two members that we need to swear in this evening, Ms. Masella and Mr. Ferrara. Is that correct? Could you please stand? Would you please repeat after me? I state your name. Oh, and please raise your right hand. I apologize. I've been doing a lot of these. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people. And that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of my position of, and please state your position. It's Planning Board Class Member 4 and Alternate Number 2. To the best of my ability, so help me God. Congratulations. Danny, can we have a roll call, please?
Yes. Mr. Lenning?
Here.
Mr. Agopian?
Here.
Mr. De Palma?
Here.
Mr. Lauer?
Here.
Mr. Renna?
Here.
Mr. Petty?
Here.
Ms. Masella? Mr. McIsaac?
Here.
Mr. Brennan?
Here.
Mr. Ferrara?
Here.
And Ms. Cannon.
Before we move on to nominations and appointments, I would like to acknowledge we have the mayor here and to turn it over to her.
Thank you. I won't take much of your time. I'm here on behalf of myself, the town council, my administration, and the residents to thank you all for all your volunteer service. People don't realize how many hours you put in, not only here at the meetings, but at home. You have to read the plans, and it's very time consuming, and we just want to tell you how much you're appreciated, because a lot of times you might go unnoticed, but we really do appreciate it. So I have certificates for each one of you, which I'll leave for Danny, and I'm just going to read one of the certificates for what it says. This certificate is to commend, and this is for Barbara Cannon, for your voluntary dedication and invaluable service as a planning board member. Your time and commitment contribute to the betterment of our community, and your efforts exemplify the spirit of service. This certificate is presented to you on behalf of the Mayor and Business Administrator and Town Council of Old Bridge Township. Thank you so much for all you do. Just want to appreciate, and I'll leave these with Danny. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. Thank you.
Next, we have the nominations for chairperson of the planning board. At this time, I will open it up to nominations.
I nominate Ed Lauer.
Ed Lauer, do we have a second?
Second.
Second. Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, I close the nominations. Do we have a motion to elect Ed Lauer as the chairperson for the planning board for 2025?
I'll make a motion.
Second. Roll call, please.
Who's first? Who motioned? Mr. Lenning?
Yes.
Mr. Agopian?
Yes.
Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Lauer?
Yes.
Mr. Renna?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Ms. Masella?
Yes.
Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
And Ms. Cannon.
And at this point, I turn the meeting and the rest of the year over to Mr. Lauer, Chairman Lauer.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, board members, for putting your trust in me for at least a year. Now, we're going to look for a vice chairman. I'd like to nominate Barbara Cannon for vice chairman.
Second.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Lenning?
Yes.
Mr. Agopian?
Yes.
Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Lauer?
Yes.
Mr. Renna?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Ms. Masella?
Yes.
Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
And Ms. Cannon.
Okay, now, secretary. Casey. Second.
Mr. Lenning?
Yes.
Mr. Agopian?
Yes.
Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Lauer?
Yes.
Mr. Renner?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Ms. Masella?
Yes.
Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
And Ms. Cannon.
Okay, next, the Vice Secretary. I guess that would be Daniel, right? I nominate Daniel.
Second.
Ms. Cannon? Mr. Lenning?
Yes.
Mr. Agopian?
Yes.
Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Lauer?
Yes.
Mr. Renner?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Ms. Masella?
Yes.
Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
And Mr. Ferrara.
Yes.
Okay, Board Attorney, we have DeFrancisco, Bateman, Kuzman, Davis, Lair, and Flom, PC. Do we have,
Move it.
Second.
okay.
Mr. Lenning?
Yes.
Mr. Agopian?
Yes.
Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Lauer?
Yes.
Mr. Renner?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Ms. Masella?
Yes.
Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
And Ms. Cannon.
Okay, Board you're welcome. Congratulations. Board Subcommittees, Master Plan, Barbara, would you like to be on the?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Hagapan?
Agopian.
Gary? Yes, Sagap, sorry. Okay. Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have to vote on this?
No, I believe, Vina, those are just chairperson, or do we normally vote on those? I'm just drawing a blank right now.
We would.
Do we vote on, okay. All right, then we just have we would need a motion to select those individuals to be on the master.
I move we select those three individuals.
Second.
Mr. Lenning?
Yes.
Mr. Agopian?
Yes.
Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Lauer?
Yes.
Mr. Renner?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Ms. Masella?
Yes.
Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
And Ms. Cannon.
Okay, next, Open Space Committee. Nominate Casey, are you Lenning? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Lenning?
Yes.
Mr. Agopian?
Yes.
Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Lauer?
Yes.
Mr. Renner?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Ms. Masella?
Yes.
Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
And Ms. Cannon.
Okay, next, Land Development Ordinance. Barbara, would you like to be on it? Okay. Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Okay. And Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Okay. I move those three individuals for that land development ordinance. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay.
Mr. Lenning?
Yes.
Mr. Agopian?
Yes.
Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Lauer?
Yes.
Mr. Renner?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Ms. Masella?
Yes.
Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
And Ms. Cannon.
Okay, Minor Subdivision and Site Plan Committee. Eric De Palma, are you interested?
Sure.
Okay. Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Okay. Edward Lauer, I'm interested. And Ms. Masella?
Yes.
Okay. I move those four
second.
individuals.
Mr. Lenning?
Yes.
Mr. Agopian?
Yes.
Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Lauer?
Yes.
Mr. Renner?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Ms. Masella?
Yes.
Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
And Ms. Cannon.
Okay, Planning Consultants. We have Environmental Resolutions, Inc. first. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Mr. Lenning?
Yes.
Mr. Agopian?
Yes.
Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Lauer?
Yes.
Mr. Renner?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Ms. Masella?
Yes.
Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
And Ms. Cannon.
Okay, next, Harbor Consultants. I'll move that one.
I'll second.
Mr. Lenning?
Yes.
Mr. Agopian?
Yes.
Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Lauer?
Yes.
Mr. Renner?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Ms. Masella?
Yes.
Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
And Ms. Cannon.
Okay, Engineering Consultants. First one up, Environmental Resolutions, Inc. Do I have a motion?
Move it.
Mr. Palmer?
Second.
Who was it?
Okay.
Mr. Lenning?
Yes.
Mr. Agopian?
Yes.
Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Lauer?
Yes.
Mr. Renner?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Ms. Masella?
Yes.
Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
And Ms. Cannon.
Yes.
Next, CME Associates. I'll move that. Second.
Mr. Lenning?
Yes.
Mr. Agopian?
Yes.
Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Lauer?
Yes.
Mr. Renner?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Ms. Masella?
Yes.
Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
And Ms. Cannon.
Next, Harbor Consultants. I'll move that one too.
I'll second.
Mr. Lenning?
Yes.
Mr. Agopian?
Yes.
Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Lauer?
Yes.
Mr. Renner?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Ms. Masella?
Yes.
Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
And Ms. Cannon.
Okay, next up, Traffic Consultants, Environmental Resolutions, Inc. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Mr. Lenning?
Yes.
Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Mr. Agopian?
Yes.
Mr. Lauer?
Yes.
Mr. Renner?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Ms. Masella?
Yes.
Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
And Ms. Cannon.
And Forest Consultants, Chestnut AFS. I'll move that.
Second.
Mr. Lenning?
Yes.
Mr. Agopian?
Yes.
Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Lauer?
Yes.
Mr. Renner?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Ms. Masella?
Yes.
Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
And Ms. Cannon.
Okay, next we have the adoptions of the Planning Board rules and regulations. Does anybody have any additions or corrections on that? Okay, here none. I'm making a proposal for an addendum that I'm going to give to the attorney tonight, and it's to give us a tool so that if any of the planning board members, basically, it's going to allow you to, through planning, not personally, if you need a hard copy of a piece of paper from the engineer to do your job out in the field, or even at home if you want to look at it, I'm hoping this tool will allow you to request it. In the 12 months, let's say we have 12 meetings, we might not ever even ask for a piece of paper. But if you need a plan when you go out in the field, I'm proposing that this addendum will allow you to request that to make your job easier. And if you don't need it, you don't need it. So should I be passing this around, or what do you?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, as I think we discussed a little bit before the meeting, I think the procedures we're going to follow would be for adopting the rules, the planning board rules and regulations as is, so we have them in place for now. And if the board's in favor of it, then I can work on the proposed amendment that the chairman raised, and we'll circulate that for the following meeting. And if everyone's in favor, we can adopt an amendment to the rules at that time. So that way, at least we have something in place for the meetings coming up.
Okay, so right now, do we?
So we'll have sorry, Mr. Chair, not to interrupt you. So right now, we'll have a motion to adopt the 2025 Planning Board Rules and Regulations as presented currently, and then I will work on and circulate the proposed amendment based on the language that you're provided to me, and as you just presented to the board.
Okay, I move that we accept the rules and regulations currently existing.
Mr. Lenning?
Yes.
Mr. Agopian?
Yes.
Mr. De Palma? Mr. Lauer?
Yes.
Mr. Renner?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Ms. Masella?
Yes.
Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
And Ms. Cannon.
Okay, next, minutes of meeting, November 14th, 2024. Do I have a motion to accept those?
Move it.
Mr. De Palma?
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
Mr. Lenning?
Yes.
Mr. Agopian?
Yes.
Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Lauer?
Yes.
Mr. Renner?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Ms. Masella?
Yes.
Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
And Ms. Chairman. I'm sorry, Ms. Cannon.
Okay, next we have resolutions, a resolution for K. Hovnanian, 27-2024, PK Hovnanian at Old Bridge LLC. It's a minor subdivision. Do I have a motion? I'll move it.
Mr. Lenning?
Yes.
Mr. Agopian?
Yes.
Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Lauer?
Yes.
Mr. Renner?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Ms. Masella? Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan? Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
And Ms. Cannon.
Yes. All right. Yeah, Mr. Chairman, if I may, the next thing on the agenda is the applications. The application number 12-20, 2022P, Alferi Old Bridge Associates LLC. I will note that the application has been filed. This is in connection with the settlement and the Whispering Woods hearing that we're going to conduct in connection with the potential and proposed settlement that the parties have reached in connection with the, in response to the litigation that was filed challenging the board's denial, prior denial. This public notice has been provided. We've received it. I reviewed it. All of the notices to all the property owners have been provided. Publication is provided, so the board has jurisdiction for this application to be heard this evening. However, we are going to, subject to the board's approval, carry this to the February 27th meeting. There were some additional documents after a pre-hearing meeting the professionals had with the applicant that we want to have submitted and work out beforehand, before we start this presentation. So this application will be carried to the February 27th Planning Board meeting without further notice. If you're here for that application, it will be carried. We will be starting that application at the February 27th hearing, and you won't be provided any further notice at this time, unless it gets carried without acknowledgement, and then you'd have to get further notice. But right now, that's the next hearing. If everyone's in favor of that, if we could just have a motion and second.
I'll move that we go to February 27th, 2025 for this application.
Second.
Mr. Lenning?
Yes.
Mr. Agopian?
Yes.
Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Lauer?
Yes.
Mr. Renner?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Ms. Masella? Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
And Ms. Cannon.
Okay, we'll open it to the public. Seeing no hands. Close the public portion.
And, Mr. Chairman, we did have an executive session scheduled for this evening. That is going to be carried as well. I don't have a date for when we're going to carry that to just yet. There's been some new information that was raised to the township, so we're going to hold off on that discussion. So we just, at this point, just an adjournment.
Okay. Can I get a motion on adjournment?
Second.
Mr. Lenning?
Yes.
Mr. Agopian?
Yes.
Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Lauer?
Yes.
Mr. Renner?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Ms. Masella?
Yes.
Mr. McIsaac?
Yes.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
And Ms. Cannon.